Alright, so this may look familiar, because this is the battle that you may have seen me do against Hadrien before, except this time I'm doing the replay. This is my first time watching the replay, actually, since I did that battle, so this should be interesting. So right from the beginning, I mean, you probably remember my layout here. I didn't really in detail go over my troops, but I have a lot of various foot. A few of them that are like King's German Legion and Highland Foot and stuff, just because I had some extra money. I kind of want to work on maybe doing something better, more cost-effective with that. Just because these foot are already very good. Anyway, my opponent, as you recall, played France. I was very surprised to see him not bring any gun cav. That was something I was actually very worried about. So you can see, I mean, over at the beginning, I kind of kept a very flexible layout. You know, the lights in the middle, bunch of foot, back them up, cab in the middle, see what happens. Here, I mean, I am committing these to kind of stretching out the line a little bit more as we both move up the field. So over here, I mean, he's got, you know, Cuirassiers and Dragoons. He's got Old Guard, Young Guard, you know, Fusiliers of Line. He's got Paravolts. Then over here in this section, he's got some more Old Guard, some Fusiliers of Line, and some Volts. And then some Young Guard, more Volts, Fusiliers of Line, and Dragoons, and these Empress Dragoons. I remember them well. They definitely actually, you know, they got in there. So here, I mean, it's just some very basic moving up the field. You see I'm really trying to stretch out and envelop him. You know, it's much more difficult to do this when you can't really pull back like this if you want to. I must say, the unrestricted camera is... It should just be how the game is designed, to be honest. I mean, I remember they've done some stuff with the later Total War games, right? Where you can, like, pull out and get a big overhead tactical view. Alright, so what was going on here? He was kind of having this one side just come up on its own, where all these were leaving behind. So my thought here was, I'm going to attack, you know, I'm going to try to make a concerted attack. I probably should have been a little bit faster about this. Or a lot faster about this. I could have gotten some really favorable shot trading here, but even as is, I think, as I recall, yeah, it works out okay. Like, these aren't quite here. I give him the first shot for sure. I take some casualties here, but already, I mean, you can see I'm hitting these Volts hard because I have, okay, you know, now he's coming in here too, but like, I have a lot of people firing already. I have 5 units firing. What's more, you can see he's got a bit of a problem here, where his line are very close to his lights, but they're not close enough that they are firing as well. You don't want that. If your lines are right behind your lights, it needs to be because they are themselves firing. And as is, I mean, they're just... Look, these Fusiliers have already taken 12 casualties. Haven't fired a shot. You know, that's wasteful. Young Guard, 10 casualties, haven't fired a shot. I mean, if I were a bit smarter, I would maybe be doing some focusing on these Old Guard. So here, though, you can see, like, I could, right now, honestly, have just kept trading these lights. Shots on these lights, but I didn't want to leave it to that, especially here, you can see he has these Volts trying to, like, turn here so they can get flanking fire. But all that does is means I can come up here and lay down some shots on him. Now, I probably shouldn't have moved up quite this far forward yet, because I think I'm going to get these Old Guard able to fire, and... Or maybe I don't. Let's see. I forget. I suspect... oh, maybe not. Okay, cool. Yeah, I do a smart thing, so that I just... You know, he doesn't get to fight. I'm keeping him out of here. I get some, but I do get some overflow bullets maybe on the Young Guard. But he pulls back here. Okay, now, yeah, now you can see I do move up such that I'm in combat with his Old Guard. He charges these 2 heavy cav just together at 1 foot unit. That foot unit's afraid of the old guard. That's really tough. But, I mean, look, I just shredded those cav with that volley and formed a square. Yeah, it's important to always make your squares, isn't it? Isn't it? Over here. And that's actually... yeah, I mean, I was actually watching, not this replay, but I was watching the video itself of the live game. And I saw at one point these guys charging in the background. It was on, so it was on my screen. I just missed it. But anyway, here, this is where I want to charge as old guard. I mean, if they're trading shots with my infantry, get them into square. Advancing up here, maybe I should have advanced a little bit sooner. But that's fine. The old guard they have been taking shots from these guys. I believe no, they're idle. Oh, and right here you see, yeah, I'm bringing in more of my cav. But so let's look big picture. Okay, some of my men are running. But that's one of my cav, I believe. My cav that got in there. But big picture, like, he's got, you know, these units are these Empress Dragoons, for example, are very expensive. They're not doing anything yet. And later, yeah, they will rout a unit. But that's after, you know, we've spent a lot of time fighting on this flank. And right here, I mean, all this fighting is going on in his lines. These old guard are already shredded. These young guard, I mean, they're not, you know, full strength for sure. And so here, I mean, this cav exchange, I think, is a bit of an interesting one. He does get in some of my troops a little bit in these King's German Legion foot, but kind of like off-kilter. So he doesn't really do a whole lot of damage. Like, a few of them clip them, so I couldn't have formed the square. But they were targeting this square, and they took some serious damage here. And before they turned around and were able to get into here. Even still, you know, good retarget there. I should have made the square. And here my thought was, okay, I'll just bring in some reserve troops to support this. Just get some shots on the Dragoons and then reform all of them into a line, because they're not doing anything right now. And even still, like right now, he keeps these 2 cav back here, not really doing anything, including the very expensive Empress Dragoons. And at this point, like, his entire right flank, or I assume his, for all I know, I don't know this player, but anyway, the right flank here has completely just collapsed. And I need to be more aggressive. Like, I keep thinking I need to clear out my lines, get things organized again, but honestly, like, these guys are coming to help do that. So these guys just need to push up here, you know. I'm getting some good activity still with my cav here, and here he's kind of conceding this and withdrawing a lot of his troops and giving me kind of free reign to finish off like this old guard, these Volts. And that's the thing, like, if you can keep your cav for this stage of the game, I mean, I prevented some, like, even a small old guard unit can really swing a match. Oh, see, there's that charge going. It would really be a good idea to pay attention to this. Thankfully, he charged head-on, so, like, I managed to take out a chunk of the regular Dragoons anyway. And also, he charged both of them into the same unit. Don't do that. Could have taken out 2-foot units instead relatively easily. This is probably a good move, though, to push up with the infantry. Should have done this first, then this. If I were good at this game, I would have made that square, and these Dragoons would have been really fucked before the support could arrive. And even still, like, they're not in a place to do much. I can comfortably form a square here, because you're just fighting these infantry, not these infantry. And I think you're really focusing more, I guess, probably on my lights, which I'm just getting some easy pot shots here. And I mean, honestly, at this point, it doesn't matter. Like, okay, More to the point even than doing this unsupported is at this point, I've completely wiped, you know, half of your army, right? I probably should have pulled these light dragoons back at this point when I realized that they were doing the smart thing and retreating to these... Anyway, but I mean, at this point, like, it's kind of a mop-up, you know, as long as I don't get my general killed at a really bad moment. And see all these cav, you're just running these cav back here. I mean, yeah, if you were suspecting I was going to kite, having cav in the backfield is good, and if you have a plan to get them into a useful fight, that's good. But, like, I mean, I've had this unit in square for a while, and you haven't done shit with it. I honestly should withdraw here, and you should... Okay, that's right. You do move these Fusiliers up, but at this point, I think I'm focusing more over here. And, first of all, I really need to practice chasing someone as they kite. Or more to the point, like, I've got a living cav here. What I probably need to do, a lot of times I try to use them one last time, get one last square. It's not a bad idea, but maybe I need to just run them way around and use them to punish any kite attempts. But yeah, I mean... Here, I mean, this is just rough. It's a mop-up. You charge in here. Yeah, as I recall, yeah, you get a couple of my lights, right? But see, it doesn't matter. Like, I have so many units left that I'm having difficulty organizing them without the unrestricted camera that I've grown to rely on. I realize it's a bit of a crutch. But eventually I do organize them, and kind of imperfectly, but it doesn't matter. I can just kind of hammer in, like, you know, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units of varying health, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, you know, 12, 13, 14. Like, I can trade 2 to 1. Which isn't going to be hard to do, because, like, some of my units are pretty healthy, right? But that's fine. Let's just look at the... I don't get to do these views very often when I'm playing, just because, like, you miss way too much. But isn't this, like... Isn't this really cool? Oh, you're charging my Highland Foot. Interesting one to choose to charge, but... Yeah, doesn't matter. It's GG. Oh man, I love the effects of this game. I really wish artillery were a little bit more well designed, because they give you some really cool effects. Maybe I've thought about trying to experiment a bit with playing games with, like, one art on terrain, maybe. Especially, I don't know, maybe not howitzers, because then you have a lot of play you can do with, you know, line of sight and, like, getting behind a ridge, and there might be some cool positional play there that maybe we haven't given enough credit as a multiplayer community. But I don't know, maybe I'm just saying that trying to justify my my desire to see cool, you know, artillery effects, and if so, not including howitzers kind of undermines that, because I mean, dudes, like, those howitzer effects are fucking badass. I don't care, like, oh shit, I just accidentally closed out of the window somehow. There we go. Sorry about that. But it doesn't matter. This is, yeah, I keep trying to use the number keys, like 1 through 4, to adjust speed, because I've been playing so much CK2 lately. But I mean, at this point, you can just do a fast forward to the end, or even cut off the video. I don't even know if I raised really any points in this that weren't covered in the live commentary. But, you know, maybe a more retrospective, broad overview is fun. you know, let me know if you have an opinion on if this was worthwhile, or maybe if I should just integrate them into one video, like play the battle, then do a cut to the replay where I talk about it. Maybe, especially if things are fresh in my mind, it'll be better. I don't know. Let me know. Maybe I'll play around with the format a bit. Either way, thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next video.